boxing, single moms, dead-end jobs, legacy. Let's do this. NERDSoul. Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, like any other day, we are getting into that hip hop and some geek, and we are talking today about, of course, the manga Her Impact. And Her Impact is a manga that's based around this young lady who has a father who is a great boxer, and her journey on picking up that legacy, that mantle, and seeing how it goes. Now, this manga is well drawn. I think that the art is definitely on point. It's kind of like the standard, I guess, you expect to see when you open a manga. When you open it up, the art is there. The people are staying on model. The people look real. Even the sets look great. Whether they're inside or outside, especially when it comes to a certain scene of a office building, and then that office inside of that building, where you just get to see a lot of detail, and it says so much, especially when you put that together with the cover. And the cover itself says a lot about this young lady that we're about to start talking about, and her name is Sadie. And Sadie's whole story is that, her mother was a reporter, came to report on this boxer back in the day. He was a great boxer. They probably fell in love, most likely. And of course, she came about. And the life that she's living now is kind of at a dead-end job. And I like how, while getting the backstory of the father in the boxing match, in the ring, kind of at his best, at his height, we also see her at her lowest. And I think that juxtaposition is very interesting in how they play it out, because at the beginning they're talking about, in the ring, he used this technique and that technique, and he was such a great boxer, and he was, I think, like 29-1 or something. Like, he had this amazing record, and he even had his own special, signature move. And then we talk about Sadie, and unfortunately, she's working at a job that makes money. She has good money, but it's not really what she wants. Her boss is not the greatest boss in the world, and she just feels like she's out of options. Like, this is a dead end and I'm not going anywhere. And then at that end, she's a single mother, and her son is kind of like, coming of age. He wants to, read, more action-packed books. He wants to do more, and she wants to provide a better life for him. And in this, I think we get a lot of believability built into like a large chunk of this book. Like, they spend a lot of time getting us, well acquainted with Sadie and her world and how her world works, and kind of like the people around her. And I think that's a very good, just a good look on the part of the writing, because they could have just sped past this and been like, hey, this is the zero issue, but we've got to get you guys some action. But they spent some time letting us know who our star character is. Now, there's a whole lot to get to as far as like the boxing and the invite that she gets from this mysterious random guy on the street. But of course, first, KURO brand is going to help us pay them bills. Oh yeah, check that link below. Hats, shirts, hoodies, all that jazz. And once you find something you like, of course, cop it. Now, let's get into the chance meeting on the street, and which is something that kind of rubbed me kind of weird in this book, is that even though we learn a lot about Sadie, a lot of her moments transition very quickly. It's like she's at the house, she's at the office, she's at, she's at the bookstore, and she's on the street, and we don't really get those transitions that normally I think would help show her, I guess, attitude in between these moments, give us a chance to breathe. But it moves on really at a very fast pace that I don't think you as a reader get a chance to kind of digest what happened with the last interaction with the last person. But when she gets this invitation, I like how she's she's open to it, to show up, to find out, you know, what this is about. And she finds out that she is not only, of course, meeting, you know, the person who is a descendant of her dad's trainer, but they're back kind of like in the home of where it all started. And you get to see her look on into kind of what could be a possible future, you know, with women's boxing out there in Japan and what it could mean for her. And even her son Aiden is like kind of intrigued about this. And I like the hopeful nature. I like the kind of like intriguing nature of her attitude and psyche when it kind of comes to this, because she could have just, you know, blown it off and said, no, I'm not into this, I don't dig it. But I like that she's open to the possibility and even stepping into her father's shoes. So I think that's really cool. Now, before I bounce, I do want to let you guys know that, of course, this is an indie title. There's a couple of focus issues here and there. There's a couple of grammar issues here and there for the editing, but this book does its job, man. It really introduces you to a character that you're interested in seeing how she plays out, what she does in her life from here on in, and how this boxing career, if that's what she follows, works out. And I think that's a great job of a zero issue, and I think they got it done. So guys, holla at me, I'ma holla at you down in them comments. Let's talk about Her Impact. Are you into it? Are you digging it? Have you picked it up yet? Or are you already kind of like looking on to see what she's gonna be getting into next, like her first match and all that good stuff? So before I bounce, I'm gonna tell you guys to hit up ThatNERDSoul.com. That's right, check me out right there. All my videos from the oldest, newest, latest, greatest, and all that. Then hit up shop.thatnerdsoul.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt, player. And don't forget to get one for them players. Then come back here, like, comment, subscribe, and share that NERDSoul. That's right, there's no better way that I can show people that you like what you are watching. So, LA, what up? VA, what up? RVA, you got my heart. And please be good to yourselves. Please be good to each other. And watch out for the hook. Peace.